Okay, so now we're going to move our attention to getting some practice on this stuff, especially, and it's really kind of a combination between chapters 3 and 6. This is a handout that we're going to go through together. Okay, I'm going to get you started on everything so that you'll have I think a good picture of what you're going to be doing. But it is to hand in, even though it says practice, this is to hand in, and it's worth 71 points. So this is going to be a module 2 assignment hand in. Okay. So I already have it printed out and underneath my screen. So I got to zoom out here. And this is kind of the title sheet here. Okay. Like this. So you want to obtain a copy of this handout. And then we're going to complete the handout while we're here in class. Now, like I said, again, I'm not going to go through each and every one, but I'll be here to take questions and I'm going to get you a good start on what to do. Make sure that your writing is readable and legible, because you're going to be taking, you can do one of two things. You can formally scan this if you want to and upload it, but I believe that the easiest way to get it in Canvas is you're going to take pictures of each one of the pages and you're going to upload it then using, I would probably use my phone. Does everybody have the Canvas app on their smartphone or like, okay, cool. I think that is probably the other option you could do. Is if you don't have it as a, as an app, you can always take a picture and email it to yourself and then upload that image, too. Okay. So there's a couple of ways of doing it, but I always think like the easiest is when we can take a direct picture and upload it. Now, the deal with the picture is it has to be clear. Okay. And sometimes that doesn't always translate. So make sure you've got nice clear. If it's blurry or if it's dark or if I can't read something, unfortunately, I can't give you points for it. Okay. So I'll ask you to re-upload it or retake a picture. So don't like get rid of it and throw it away after you take your picture and you think you're done. Just hang on to it a little bit. All right. So make sure that that picture is clear. And then you're going to upload it. Not 40 points. I had estimated that at the beginning. It's 71 points. Okay. When I went through, there's quite a bit. And I wanted to give you, the chance to earn those points. So, all right. So we're gonna go to the first part. This first page is really just kind of basic information. There's nothing to do on this first page. So it really just has another example of a part and what it would look like in terms of orthographic projection, picking the front, right side, and the top view, noticing that they're in line across, including any, hidden lines and such. Okay, so that just gives you another example. Down below here, again, another type of a view that correlates the width, the depth, and the height, and what you get from each one of those. So for instance, in the front view here, you get the width, but you also get the height. In the right side view, you get the height dimension and the depth dimension, even though it's not shown, but we get that depth there as well. And in the top view, we get the width dimension and the depth. Okay. So nothing to do on this first page, just some additional examples. Okay. Same thing here. This is just your line styles that we use in mechanical drawings. So just kind of reminding us of, part outlines, edges are going to be the heavy. Section lines, hidden lines. We didn't really talk about section lines yet, but that's okay. They're on here. Hidden lines, center lines. Notice the mediumness about the hidden, and then lighter about the center, and then dimensions, and then heavy for cutting plane, and then also break lines. Again, things that we'll encounter a little bit later on, but the ones that we want to pay attention to are going to be the part outlines, the hidden lines, center lines are going to be the ones that we're most interested in. Okay. So again, nothing to do on this page. On the next page, though, you'll notice at the very top, it says principal views and orthographic projection. This one is worth 6 points. So there is stuff to do on this page. All right. And it's actually found at the bottom. So it starts here with a pictorial, if you would, of a part that's kind of similar to the one that we've been seeing in our text. And you'll notice here that it actually lays it out with all 6 principal views. So we've got the front view here, and in line top to bottom is going to be the top view, bottom view. Then over to the right is the right side view. And then on the left is the left side view. And then to the left of that is the rear view, kind of like unfolded in our box, if you would. And you'll notice here that we have the height identified. Okay, height dimension, which is going to be the same across all 4 of these views, the front, right side, left side, and the rear. And then you'll notice that we also have the depth dimension, and we're seeing that in the right side, the left side, and the bottom, and the top. Okay. Additionally, in the top and the bottom, we're getting the width dimension because that's in line across the front view. Okay. So those are our 3, if you would, principal dimensions, but they're found in combination in different views. Okay. So what you want to do down here, it's not really a quiz. So it says down here, for each of the orthographic views, they'll always show at least 2 of the 3 basic dimensions. Circle the corresponding H, W, or D for each one of those views. So for instance, front view here, we're going to look back up here. You'll notice that we're going to see the height and the width. It's identified here, but it's the same width here. So we would do H and W for the front view. Then you're going to go up to the top view. You're going to look, okay, what principal dimensions do I get there? I get width and I get depth, right? So you want to do top view, width, and depth. So here too, when you're marking these, because you're doing them in pencil, just make sure they're dark enough so that I can see them. Don't go super light or super thin, because when you take a picture, it kind of washes out sometimes, okay? So then you would finish up with the right side, left side, rear, and the bottom, okay? Any questions there? So make sure you finish that up for the 6 points. Each one is worth 1 point each. Okay, turning the page, Here's another page. This is worth 12 points. So there's actually 6 illustrations here, okay? And I'm going to give you 2 points for each one. And what I want you to do is I want you to label W, D, and H in each one of the views, meaning where do I see the width dimension? Where do I see the depth dimension? And where do I see the height dimension? Now you're going to have 2 of these in each one of the views. So you'll notice that for each one of these, let me zoom out here a little bit, we've got front, right side, and top. Okay, each one of those has that. And then you've got a little isometric, and it's always pointing at the front view, okay, your line of sight. So in the first upper left-hand corner one here, what I want you to do is in each one of these views, show which principal dimensions there are. So here, I would make little dimension lines. And then I'm going to put, in this case, this is going to be H, right? So these are the little extension lines for the dimension lines, and I'm putting H in there. And then in this right side view, I'm also going to see in this direction, depth. Okay. Over in my front side, my front view, I'm going to add it to over here. This is going to have H. And then it's going to have, what's this dimension? You guys tell me. What's that one in the front view? That's going to be my width. So this one, I'm just going to put W. And then on my top view, this one's also going to have W, right? And then what's this one? That's going to be my depth. Yeah. Now, pretty easy, 2 points each. You get to do that in each one of the views. I know it's pretty repetitive, but it is an important concept to understand. You know, the information that you get for each one. You have these 3 dimensions, these 3 principal dimensions, and where are they found in which views standardly, okay? So you want to do something very similar to each one of the other ones there. Make sure that you do that. Again, I know it's kind of redundant, but it happened to have 6 pictures on it, so I just want to make sure that you got it. You will by the end. Any questions on that one? 12 points for the whole page, 2 points for each one of the different main boxes, to each part. Okay. All right, turning the page, the back side. This one's kind of fun. This one, we want to sketch each view of the part below. Okay. So you're going to notice that there are 3 of them here. I'm giving you 3 points each. So 9 points total for the page. And what you're going to do is, this is going to be your front. Okay. Each one of these is going to be your front view. So as we look at these 3 like outlines, these are just showing the construction lines of the outside of each one of those views. Okay. Which means that this one right here is going to be my front view, which is the perspective that we're taking on each one of these lines of sight. So in our front view, and that's where I would start, you want to show what you're going to see. Now this is sketching again. Okay. So you're going to notice that you're going to use this as the outside of the part, the bottom of the part. So you're going to go over it so it's nice and dark. Okay. And then you're going to come in, go up, over, and down. And again, if you wanted to use a straight edge, you certainly could, but this would be our front view for this part. Then what you want to do is you want to then show what the top view would look like. Okay. So as I look straight down on the part, this would be my top view. Okay. So as I look at the top view, I'm actually going to see with that depth dimension is going all the way back. This full, oh shoot, see, this is why we have an eraser. This full outside is going to be darkened in like a visible line. So you're going to go over the top. Don't leave it as a construction line because you want to darken it in. And then the other thing that we're going to see is we're going to see the top edge of each one of these. So in line with our front, we already identified that top edge. We're going to go straight back here and in line straight back here. Okay, that's going to be our top view. Right side view. So any questions so far? Any questions so far? Okay. Right side view. Now we're looking in this orientation. This is going to be right side. Okay. Now again, I'm going to go all the way up and I'm going to darken in the full profile here for this one. Okay, it goes all the way up. And then the edge that I see is going to be this edge right here, which is in line from the front view all the way across. So I'm going to start here and go straight across. Okay. Now, even though there's another line in the back that would create, for instance, a hidden line, my visible line takes precedence, right? So I wouldn't draw, you know, a hidden line underneath here or anything. It's just really, it's at the same level. So the line that takes precedence is going to be the visible line that depicts that edge that I see. Okay, any questions here? So you get to do 2 more. You get to. So you'll notice here you have the stair steps. And again, this is going to be always my front view. Okay, so that's going to be this one right here. All right. And then this one. Oh, this one looks so good. Here. See what you come up with that one. Okay. So I'm going to let you finish those 2 up. Finish those 2 up. And again, those outsides are construction. You can't get rid of them, but if there is a visible line over the top of it, darken it in. Okay, make it darker. All right. So that's worth 9 points. Turning the page. Oh, this one's really fun. So it says here, match each isometric model with the 3 views below. So you'll notice at the top here, there are 12 models. And at the bottom, there are 12 3-view like layouts, if you would, of each one. Now, what you need to do is you need to find out at the top here, these are all letters and these are all numbers. Okay. So you need to find, for instance, for letter A, what number 3 views layouts is it correspond to? Okay. So fun. So letter A, you got to kind of look here. Now, for each one of these, the darkened, like this shaded part, this is going to be your front view. Okay. For each one of these, that's going to be your front view. But but for D and H, this is your front view for those. Because of the way that they're setting. Yeah. Okay. So let's see if we can find A. So you'll notice here that you have these faces, and then the back side is shorter. Do you see how it's shorter than the full width of like the foot in the front? So this is going to be kind of projected up top like there. So I would hunt for something that looks like the right front view. Now this one right here, this one has that back side going all the way across. Ours needs to be shorter. Okay. This one is shorter, but it doesn't have 2 feet out in the front. So that's not right. This one is shorter in the wrong direction. Let's see. No. Oop, this might be a possibility. Number 10. What do you think about that one? Here it's shorter in this direction. It's kind of like a little, wall in the back. I've got these two as I look down. I think this is the one. So A would be 10. So what I would do is I would put 10 next to A. You could put A down here just so that it's kind of like out of the mix, because once it's assigned, it's not going to be for any of the others. Okay. Do you want to do another one? Let's do another one. Let's do B. Let's find out where B is. See if we can find B. So here it goes up in the back and then down. I'm always looking at my front view first, up in the back and then down. 5 is a possibility. 5 is a possibility. Oop, but it's front. As I look straight down on it, it doesn't have another protrusion in the front. So 5 is not it, because this does not match looking down on it. No. Oop, let's see what does 9 look like for us? Oop, that looks like a possibility. So my front, oh no, it's not. It's opposite. Still not. Dang it. Let's go here. It is 11. Yes. So here we see it's tall on the right, it's short on the left. Looking down the front view then, right here, got that part. So B for 11 and an 11 up here. See, isn't that kind of fun? And this will kind of help with that visualization and kind of laying out. So yeah, there's 12 of them to do here, but it's really good practice. Really good practice. Okay, so that's worth 12 points. Turning the page. Now, these two go together. All right, these two go together, and I'm going to pull mine apart. So the very last page that we have here, there's kind of a lot of questions. I think it's like 31 or 32. 32 points. And the questions are going to be along the left-hand side here, and you're going to put your answers along the right-hand side. So you might have to write a little small. So just bear with me. And all of these questions pertain to this part. So it's kind of like a 2-page thing. So here's the model on top. Here is the front, top, and right side view. Okay. And then the title block for the previous drawing is down here. All right. So this would normally be down in this corner right here, but they stuck it on the bottom of this page. So as we look at the very top here and we focus on the questions, it says, what is the object? Okay. Well, looking at the drawing and the model, you don't get that information. You need to look to the title block for that down here. So this item is going to be called a feed hopper. Okay. That's going to be what it's called. So up here in the answers for number 1, you're going to go feed hopper. All right. And then it says, what is the drawing number? Title block again. Okay. Drawing number here is right here. It's A-11. A-11. Do you have a question? Oh, of course. What could you do me a favor and just prop it as you go out? Yeah, thank you. Number 3, how many castings are required? That's a title block question again. So we're going to go down. 875. Yep. Okay. And then what material is this made out of? Another title block question. Okay. Material, malleable iron. Okay. the cast part. Okay. Now, the next things that you're going to be doing are going to be going back and forth with that drawing. And I believe the rest of them are going to be, what is the surface? What is the line? What is the this? What is the that? And this, there's a lot of questions. So let's kind of get us started on these. So number 5 says, what is the overall width of this part? Well, if we go back to here, we've got our front, top, right side. Remember, the width is going to be common in the front and the top views, right? So if we look, is there an overall width dimension between, oh, it looks like it's 3 inches, right? So 3 inches is what you're going to put over here in number 5, 3.00. Number 6, what is the overall height? Go back to the drawing. Now we're going to look, remember that height dimension. This is why we did all that like practice a couple sheets ago. The height was found in the front view and the right side view, or a side view, right? So we're going to look here between the front and the right side view. There is an overall dimension of 1.5, right? So that's going to be it. Okay. And then it's overall depth. Let's look at number 8. It says calculate distances A through G. Okay. So number 8, you'll notice, is right here. Okay. And it's got a line for A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And it wants us to find these distances A through G. Okay. So you look back over here, let's find where those are at. So you'll notice that on the drawing, there's these letters that have dimensions, right? Do you see that? Okay. So let's find A. I gotta find where A is. Oh, A is right here. A is right here. Okay. So you'll notice here that the given dimensions in the right side view, we have an overall dimension, which is probably going to be our depth dimension, right, of 2 inches. And then we've got 0.44, the width of that ear sticking up, and 0.44 on the other side, the width of the ear. So the leftover in the middle here is what we need to calculate. Okay, so it would be 2 minus 0.88, right? What would that number be? Would that be 1.12? Yes, thank you. Okay. So then you're going to continue to do the very same thing then for instance, B. So we're going to find B on the drawing. Okay, B was right here. Okay. Now I don't see any distances associated with it, but we'd have to kind of look. It's this difference right here. So if we go straight up, B is also right here. Do you see that? But it's this distance right here. So these are in line. Remember, that's one of your hints. You can use that. That's the B dimension. So if I look, I've got 3 inches wide. Okay. I've got 1.4 to this surface right here. You see how that's in line from view to view. And then I've got 0.8 back. So I would be 3 minus 1.44 minus 0.88. And that would be the difference in B. Everybody see that? So again, 3 is the overall minus this part minus that part. Do I have a number? Does anybody? 0.72. All right. So in the case of B, we had to look to the other views to kind of help us out with that. Okay. So again, this is great practice, just getting to know and understand. This is a little bit more complex drawing with some more dimensions on it, some more features for you to kind of explore. Now, guess what? I'm going to have you work on this independently the rest of the time we're together here today. So you have today, I think we got about an hour left technically in the time that we have together. This assignment is going to be due, target date due at the end of the week. Okay, at the end of the week. Remember, you're going to see me on the rest of the day today. You're going to see me on Wednesday. You're going to see me all day on our Friday as well. And during each one of those times, I'm going to ask, are there any questions on any of the assignment? Okay. So if you run into any trouble where you're like, I don't get what she means by this, you'll have me during those times to ask any questions. Additionally, if you want to text or email me, you can certainly do that as well for any clarification that you need. But I just want you to know that it's not like there for you to figure out. Okay. So I wanted to get you started on this so that you had a good handle on like kind of what's expected. Now, to hand this in, remember, you're going to take pictures, and when you take a picture, I just so that you know, and I know it's kind of hard to see, but if you take your phone, you want to be like on top of it. So you look straight down at, so we've got a top view, if you would, of the paper. Don't go at an angle, because then it's going to be like hard for me to see the stuff that's in back. You got to go straight over the top. Does everybody understand that about the picture? It's kind of like you're a copy machine on top of it. All right. What was that?
You can use go and calculus thing, make us use an app to scan our work.
I had people do that in the past too. If you want to use a scanner where you use the scanner app, I've used Tiny Scanner. That's another one. That's a really good app. It switches it to like a PDF and then you can upload it. That's totally fine. But you can also upload pictures. It's really easy. And as long as they're readable, that's totally fine too. I just think it's one less step that you guys have to take. I noticed that my chat has 2 questions. I apologize for not seeing it until now. Let's go. If I were to draw these on notebook paper and label them, yeah, that's totally fine. I'm currently out of printer paper. Yes, that is totally fine, Caleb, no problem. Or could I stop in before my other class today and grab that packet? Yes. Yes. What time is your other class, Caleb? At 1. Yeah. Yeah. My office area is right across from the room that we normally meet in. So, so feel free to come over and, actually, yeah, because I think this class is being used at noon. So I'm going to be in my office. So just come to that office area right across the hall and you can just ask for me. Okay. Awesome. That works. Okay. Worst case scenario, Caleb, otherwise I will just leave it at the desk with Lindsay. She's the administrative assistant. So, so I can also leave it there with your name and then you can pick it up anytime. You don't have to try to meet me. I think I'll do that. Then you can do before your class, after your class, and it'll be there for you. Okay. All right. All right. Yes. So now since this is going to be our independent work time, then you can kind of use this as you wish. If you need to get up and take a break, you can do that. And then I'm available to answer any questions. So I'm going to stop recording.